conversations. Today we have a special guest, Vajrang B. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Having fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I am a UiPath developer as well as I'm mostly into automation space. I do a lot of code with C Sharp .NET as well as VB.NET, and I am good with writing some JavaScript code and HTML, CSS is what I'm very good at. But after initial days of my coding, I thought that okay, maybe I can have my own organization. That started as a single person entity. Now we are a good team of 6 members.
Oh, wow, that's definitely interesting. So you started off as a coder, and then before the show, we were talking a little bit. You moved over to management, and then you moved over to UiPath. How was it in management?
So I think initial days of management is always a bit tough to understand the people, and
Mm,
moreover, it's my early days of the journey where I always have that um, code should come first before the people. Later, slowly, I recognized and understood that people will always come first, then the
hmm.
other activities will come. So it's kind of a tough call to make, and the transition effect is a bit hard for me during that time. Um, but it's good.
And then how did you go from management into UiPath? Like, where did you discover
Well,
UiPath?
I haven't stopped the development. That's what I would say. I haven't
Mm,
stopped the development of the applications. Though I'm managing and leading a team, I'm on as a side hustle, or I'm continuously developing, working some automations, doing some small things. Like I have built some browser add-ons, Mozilla I have used, and I have built some quick browser add-on, which actually help the client to validate some images. And that's how, like, I haven't stopped coding. So that's how it is.
yeah, if you really love coding, you'll never stop doing it.
That's right. Once you're a coder, you're always a coder. So you'll find some way to code.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you tell the audience a little bit about what UiPath is and why is it like the next big thing?
UiPath is the next big thing from the past 2 years or 3 years, at least. Initially in 2018, when I have started with UiPath, the tool was niche, very small market, but UiPath have really scaled up over the past couple of years, and it started building AI tools right now. I'll just give an introduction about UiPath. UiPath started as a Discover tool where it will be used to mimic the human actions, and whatever you want to do with your machine, we will try to record it, mimic, and we will try to replay it. That's what we have. That's what UiPath started as initially, but it was able to save a lot of efforts as well as time, because all the activities that it's trying to repeat are highly impactful, and it was able to solve a lot of redundant tasks. And whenever it's able to solve redundant tasks, like me, if I want to do a regular classic activity of copying, pasting and something into one particular application or a form, and if I need to do it some 10,000 times or 15,000 times, rather than me doing it, I have the Excel file or I have some input file. I also already know some application where I need to paste some information or add some information. Then let's go ahead and record it and give some magic at the background. That's called selectors. And once you are done, like every tool has their own way of naming it. I think Automation Anywhere have spying, or Blue Prism, I think it's having something
Mm,
called spying.
Mm.
So yep. So well,
Good.
once the
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, once the selectors or once the automation is done, people were able to see what kind of impact it can bring. Now
Right.
a simple activity. Now when I do some live, right now it's planned on 21st. I need to send information to around 300 to 400 members over WhatsApp. Now I cannot use an API because I don't have budget to buy an API. Simple.
oh,
Now what I can do, I can just open my WhatsApp web in my uh, host machine, and I can run an automation. It searches for a mobile number, it sends a message, and then goes and sends the next message. So it's just one time activity for me to just configure it, and it's able to send it to around 300 members. And moreover, the uh, the feedback that I got is, with respect to this automation, people were able to get information much more faster than some emails where it people we may never know people will open it or not. Like, these are the simple automations people need to initially concentrate on. Then they need to go ahead and check with the um, enterprise wise, like if it is able to solve only 300, if it is able to solve around or save around 8 hours to 9 hours for me. um, Take an example of some very big organization, big four organization, where it need to do tons and tons of work. It just need to copy the information, segregate the information, and paste the information somewhere. Now, the hours saved will be in thousands to lakhs over a period of year.
Yeah.
So always, UiPath is trying to self-learn on itself. It's very reliant on feedback, and it's constantly changing with the feedback that it's taking. And I'm one of the UiPath MVP for the year 2023. And believe me, the feedback that I have given are already implemented in the next 3-4 months of the next release of UiPath. So it takes feedback very seriously, and if there is something that it can be improved, it will definitely do and improve the tool itself. I would also tell what is the difference between other tools and UiPath. Few members or few organizations who went as an open source tool or open source environments. The major roadblock that I have seen with them, and the advantage that I have seen with UiPath is, now open source tools, once they are built, now there should be someone who should be upgrading the tool constantly. The change is the constant thing that's evolving continuously. Now I built something. Now I have given it for open source. Let's say that now there is chat gpt. I need to have integrations available for my tool. Now
Mhm.
if it is an open source tool, now there is no one to develop and no one to give it as an integration, right? But with respect to the enterprise tools like UiPath, the moment it saw some traction towards it, within 1 week it's able to get some API tools or integrations with UiPath. So always, if you are working on enterprise tool, you are paying it for them to develop continuously and constantly. So you'll get the latest and greatest tools and technologies.
Right. So I have a question about that, and I know we keep mentioning UiPath, and you
Mhm.
just mentioned Automation Anywhere and Blue
Yep.
Prism,
Yep.
and I think for our viewers, we need to really help them understand,
Yep.
the technology behind these tools.
Yep.
RPA, which is robotic process automation.
That's right.
Most of what I've learned from about RPA, I've actually learned from you,
Yep.
and whatever little reading and studying I've done on my own. But could you give us, a basic definition of what RPA is? You've said it a few times while you were talking about UiPath, but just
That's
a
right.
general landscape of RPA as you
Uh,
see.
so we need to just deprecate or decipher the word RPA, robotic process and automation.
Right.
Robotic, or something that is completely, when you're saying robotic, it means that it can stay on its own and it can repeat on its own continuously.
Okay.
That's the normal definition that we have. Like, it
Mhm.
can repeat on the some task on repeated mode. Process is the steps that we need to check on the automation, or irrespective of what it is. Process means a series of steps. Like, okay, I click on something and I click on the other thing, I click on the other thing. Or else I'm making a sandwich. I need to toast the bread first, and then add the cheese, and then add some egg on it. So these are the steps, this is the process. Now, automation, robotic process automation, now you are automating the repeated steps, is called automation. Whatever the process that you are trying to repeatedly do it, and you are taking the help of some software. Now, when you're saying robot, it's not a physical robot, it's a software, again, that relies on your machine and that stays on your machine as one of the application, like your calculator, or like your Excel, or like your browser. It's one of the application. But when you say about calculator and Excel, they rely on themselves. They will not be able to communicate with other tools or other applications. That's when automation or some tools like UiPath can come in. They can act as a bridge between multiple tools, and that's a complete definition. Robotic is the repetition of the process or the steps, and we are trying to automate all these things, which is called as automation.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So that brings me to a very interesting question. It's probably one of the most commonly asked question for, I guess for people that don't know much about what RPA is and what it does and how it can benefit
Yep.
humanity and I guess businesses large and small.
Okay. Okay.
Is RPA how do you feel or what are your thoughts on RPA or how some people say RPA is could come in to take our jobs? Like
Okay.
it will replace a lot of
Now,
jobs.
now tell me something. Now, I
Mhm.
have given you an example of WhatsApp earlier.
Mhm.
Now, if I give the same, now if I need to hire someone to do the same task,
Mhm.
and he need to do it manually, I need to pay him. So I have actually taken his job. But tell me something. Why someone should just rely on copy pasting work?
They shouldn't.
If it is just only to copy paste, why a human intelligence and a human time is required to copy something, or if it is very redundant task, just to add some information to somewhere, why should a human do it
Right. They
when there is
shouldn't.
already a machine?
They shouldn't.
He should definitely. If someone, in case, if the robot instead of me, if it can deliver some speech like this, I would suggest a robot to do it than me,
Right.
until and unless it has some consensus on what it is talking about. It clearly knows what it's talking about, and it clearly understands, and it can expand its intelligence on what the robot can understand. Now, a robot can do only very less things. It cannot rethink. It can stay on its own. It can be working on its own. If it is configured to do a specific task, it can be doing only that specific task. It
Right.
cannot go out of the boundary. Now, that's where humans should work, right?
Right.
It's not like the other way around. Okay, now this is small task. Now, some human should do it. Is the incorrect way of thinking, is what I understand.
Right.
After I go with UiPath, or after I learned how to do automation.
Right. Right. That I think it's very important. And you spoke to three things there, really. Two that one productivity and
Yep.
efficiency, right? Um, and about the robot thinking and all that's maybe down the line, way down the line in the future. And we'll probably talk about the future of RPA in a little bit. But I
Mhm.
do want to ask one question about UiPath. So UiPath is the leader.
Yep.
They have the lion's share of the market, really,
Yep.
when it comes to RPA. And it wasn't always that way, was it?
Hmm.
Can you can you maybe tell us a little bit about that? Like, what do they do that's so different from the others out there? I don't know. You're your UiPath MVP, and maybe there's some things that you can or you cannot say, but um, yeah, what is kind of what do they do differently that has caused them to kind of be in
To
this?
what I understand, UiPath have focused on three things:
Mhm.
technology, people, and community.
Okay.
Technology, it's continuously evolving. The first thing. People, it was able to communicate well and able to give out better solutions to its customers. And the last thing is community. Now, let's go ahead and try to understand. When I'm starting new to UiPath, like around 2018 or 17, that's the time. Um, if I have some question or query, and this at the same point of time, all the other tools are also in the pipeline, or they are also growing, like the Blue Prism as well as Automation Anywhere. The real difference happened with this community. I will tell you why. Now, UiPath. Now, if you want to learn Blue Prism tool, you need to have an enterprise license. You need to purchase the enterprise license, and it will be available only for 30 days. And you need to do a lot of setup. You need to have a database installed, you need to have the connections installed, and you need to have the configuration done, all these things. It's not easy. Trust me, I have already tried it.
Right.
Now, the second thing is with Automation Anywhere. Literally speaking, Automation Anywhere and UiPath were moving hand in hand since for the like around few 2 to 3 years back. The major impact that took place with UiPath is with the community, where they have like, let's say that there are 100 people, and out of 100 people, 10 people know Blue Prism, and 10 people know Automation Anywhere. And because of the community that UiPath has, remaining 80% of the people know UiPath. Now, which tool do you think organizations will prefer? Is the
Right.
10% where they are going to have limited skill set and where they are going to have less opportunities to pick up the members, because
Mhm.
the salaries are higher over there. There is very niche, and people are not skilled, and if someone is already skilled, he's demanding very high packages. On the other hand, UiPath gave its tool for free. For how many days? Unlimited. Even now, if you have started UiPath on 2018, till now, you will be able to run one unattended bot continuously for your own without paying any single license to UiPath. You can have two developers licenses. Like, you need not work on your own. You can also invite one of the user or one of your friend to the community platform. You can share the logic that you have built. These things, I think, are missing in other tools. Now, when you are building some enterprise platform, you need to have the technology as well as the people who knows the technology, which is called a skill set. Now, UiPath was able to grab the market share with the skill set. Like, people were cheap to hire. Instead of I pay someone 10,000 USD, I will pay two members or two to three developers for 3,000 USD, 3,000 USD per month.
Mm.
Now I can get more work done, and as well as the tool is very good. Let me tell you that first.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's where it took place. That's where it took the rocket ship. That's
yeah.
we call it as rocket ship.
Yeah. And I've actually witnessed that. I have had a first-hand witness of that. But I do have another question about the simplicity of the tool,
Yeah.
how easy it is to use UiPath. Um, I know you have this program where you train people on
Yeah.
maybe a monthly or bi-monthly basis,
Yeah.
but I really want to talk to you about like the type of people that come to you to learn UiPath and some of the outcomes that, if you can speak to that, some of the outcomes that people have experienced from going through your program. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and their
So
background, tech or non-tech background. Yeah,
okay, all the RPA tools are marketing themselves as low-code tools or no-code tools.
we
So
know.
when you say this marketing word, like you don't need programming knowledge, then all the members who don't know programming will obviously fall under this influence, stating that okay, I don't need any coding knowledge.
Mm,
But that's not correct. When you say low code, it means that you need to write the code, but the coding part will be very less. And to learn something like Java or .NET, where you need to spend some 6 months to 1 year to at least know the language and to understand the libraries and all the details, it can really take around 1 year to actually get into the grip of of the topics. Now, with respect to low-code tools, that's where the advantage is all about. Even though you are not a developer, as I'm saying, though I said that I am a developer, like I developed some websites as well as HTML, I'm very poor at writing the code. That I must agree. If you have given me someone who is very good with coding, I will definitely lose with him. But where I can gain is I know how to use the tool better. That's an advantage for me because I have learned about this tool, and learning about a tool, something like UiPath, is much more easier than learning some programming knowledge. Now, all of a sudden, I cannot be a machine learning expert. For that, I need to learn statistics. I need to learn Python. I need to learn all kind of libraries that And first thing, I need to learn maths. Now, if you want to be a UiPath developer within the 1 month time, again in that 1 month, 20 days only, and we are asking like there's a saying like I followed this saying and then I created this program. If you continuously learn something for 21 days, it becomes a habit for you. So that is the reason we have created 4 week program. In that 4 week program, 5 days you're going to learn, and 5 into 4, which is 20, you are going to spend 20 hours continuously learning one single tool. Okay, so this is on the basics part, and the same implementation will be done for the projects as well. Now I know 20 hours I learned the basics, and the remaining 20 hours I will learn the projects. Now, simple thing, your someone is going for interview, and who will you hire? Someone who is having experience with UiPath and who have completed a bit of projects, or someone who is completely into .NET who don't know anything about UiPath.
I'd go
And the
for
other way is someone who knows how to create projects and he have only 1 year of experience with UiPath. Whom will you hire?
I would. What's the third option?
Only two options.
Okay, so I would go with the UiPath expert, or the person
Exactly.
with UiPath experience, of course.
Exactly. So if you're targeting for UiPath jobs, you will hire someone who is having some experience and who have developed some projects on it, rather than hiring a very good coder who is not having any experience with the tool. Well, we may need to use that experience at some point of time, but not every time. So, non-coders and non-developers are the ones who need to focus on UiPath. There is one more catch. A non-coder or partially good with coder, if he is using ChatGPT kind of tool, he can be he can be an expert coder as well. Let me tell you an example. I'll give my own example. Now, every day, around 10 to 15 members need to submit their code for review in my organization. Now, if a human needs to do it, how much time should it take? Every person, 15 to 20 minutes per day, 10 into 20, which is 200 minutes. Okay. Now, I don't know anything about uh, Java. I don't know anything about PowerShell. I don't know anything about DevOps. I sat one night and I used ChatGPT as my companion. Okay. It knows all the code. I know what to build. I took the help. Now, every code that's being submitted will be is getting reviewed at this point of time live within 2 minutes. Now, see the difference. Where is 200 minutes and where is 2 minutes?
Big difference.
Big difference. Now, that's what I'm telling. But I used UiPath as well as some bit of coding knowledge. So you need to know how to implement bit of code, and you also need to know how to implement a logic. Logic building is most important in any kind of developer environment than the syntax itself.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got a two-part question for you. So, like, imagine there's a new business owner and
Mm.
uh, he's looking at a tool like UiPath. What value can UiPath bring to his business, and why would he want to adopt it? And on the other hand, for someone looking for a new job, like, what are the salary ranges out there for UiPath jobs?
Okay, three questions you have asked. Let's break down. So the first question is someone starting in with an organization, why should he start with UiPath?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with UiPath, with enterprise platform, there is 60-day of trial version. But if you are a single person entity like me, or someone who have very limited resources, but he need to have some automation running in the background, you can run it continuously for 24 by 7 unlimited times. Okay, you can get started for free and you can continuously run it throughout your business lifecycle. If you want to improve, though you are doing some investment in the beginning, you can get the returns back within 1 to 2 years. Now, if you're spending some $10,000 on one license, let's take $10,000 on one license for 1 month. Okay. Now, take the same example. I'm having a developer. I need to pay around 9,000 to 8,000 to 9,000 per month. Now, how much time a human will work?
About 8 hours, 10 hours, maybe
How
most.
much time a robot will work?
Yeah, 24 hours.
24.
Oh,
24/7. Okay. So you should also, the returns will be much more faster if you know how to implement and how to adhere with the tool. Like you need to really know, and you need to have a good partner who knows about the tool, and also you need to know what the licenses, how the licenses will work, and all. Now the second part is what are the salary ranges?
Mm.
Trust me, UiPath salary ranges are on par with the software salary ranges. I can maybe I can talk with my Indian currency because that's where I am more habituated to
Mhm.
talk to it. So I'll give you this example. It's a junior developer or who started can draw anywhere between 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs per annum, and a senior developer can draw somewhere between 6 lakhs to 10 lakhs, depending upon his experience. There are a lot of factors that will influence. Like you cannot have a ballpark number like, okay, if you are a 2 years experience then you will get so much salary. That's not how it will work. If you're too good with development, and if you can give out better code, and if you are able to give out better solution, then obviously you can demand for higher salaries. But obviously I would say I have personally seen hikes around, ranging like all the members who got hired from the after the training of the program, more than 90%, I'm proud to say this, that 90% of them have more than 100% of the salary hikes.
nice.
I would also say that this is not possible every time. Every time every person cannot get 100% to 200% salary hikes. It completely depends. He might be drawing very less salary when he is into non-tech background or non-IT background. He's just a customer care executive where he's working for 8 hours just to have his living done. Now, after completing this training program or after learning the tool, instead of training, so from now I will not talk about the training part. I will talk about the tool itself. Someone who is good with the tool, if he is able to convince an interviewer that he is good with the tool, then obviously he will be able to demand more.
Right.
What was the
Absolutely.
third question? Sorry, I missed it.
So yeah, can you kind of give us some examples of the value that UiPath has brought to a company, like a tangible example, like it cut down this by 50%, or like, or even how to use it in your own company.
Okay, now you cannot always have hours saved as your goal. Sometimes, in some places, maybe a human when he's doing it, he will be able to complete within 5 minutes. When a robot is doing it, maybe it is able to complete 7 minutes in 7 minutes. But when a human does it, the error rate was 20 to 30%. When a robot does it, the error rate was 1%. Now, they should always be. You should always think on multiple factors here. What is your major goal? Are you trying to cut down the headcount? Are you trying to increase the efficiency of the team? Because if you are trying to increase the efficiency of the team, then you will actually give them a bot rather than removing them. And you can tell that, okay, this is your bot, and you can record whatever you want, and this will help you. So instead of you working for 8 hours, use this bot and work with 2 hours within 2 hours.
Mm. Yeah.
So the efficiency gets increased for a particular person.
Yeah. What industries do you see RPA in general, but more so UiPath being used in mostly? Like, which industries have adopted it?
Okay. The question again for you: which industries have adapted OpenAI, ChatGPT.
Obviously, technology industry for sure, but I think every industry at this point.
That's right.
Right.
So RPA, now every organization or every uh, like it cannot replace a musician, obviously, because he creates something new every time. Okay, but all the industries that are having repeated tasks that are rule based and having specific set of steps where we need to just do some activity and we have some rules to do those activities. We have all the standard operating procedures and we know how to do the task. Let's go ahead and ask a robot to do it. Now, in the UiPath forward event, this is kind of nice analogy that I have heard. If AI is the brain, UiPath is the body.
Mm-hmm.
Both together work to get the work done, to get the job done.
Yeah.
No simple thing. Um, Take an example of sending out an email. Now you need to send out emails to 10,000 different people. Writing customized email is a part of ChatGPT or any kind of AI tool. Sending them to every person is the task of automation. Both goes hand in hand. Now earlier we were able to just replace the names, like okay, there is a predefined text. Once there is a predefined text, I just need to replace the name with some wildcards. I will replace the name and I will send it. So everyone used to get one single same response. There is no customization available. Now, customization is available for every message.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to know the mind and you need to work with the body. Together can bring you beneficial results.
Right. Right. So a lot of organizations, large organizations, many of them have already adopted RPA, UiPath. I think for the most part into
Yeah.
their businesses to like do the same things like increase the productivity, efficiency, even customer service, right?
Yeah.
And, reduce human error.
Mhm.
But what about smaller companies? What about mom and pop shops down the road? Could they benefit from something like UiPath specifically? And second part, I've been told before, like, oh, that's kind of like Zapier. I don't know much about Zapier, but maybe you do. Can you speak to like maybe the differences between those two?
Sure. Now, when you're talking about Zapier or
Mhm.
any kind of like even Power Automate,
Mhm.
before Power Automate, Microsoft released Power Automate Desktop. It's just Power Automate. The major difference between those tools with respect to UiPath is they will be able to talk to any API. But what if the tool is not an API? The tool
Mhm.
doesn't have an API.
Mhm.
It just relies on your WhatsApp on your desktop. Now, do you think that Walmart is using APIs? They are still reliant on the IBM mainframes to do all their customer management, or any kind of in large organization, even the smallest organization. First thing is they don't know how to use APIs, frankly speaking. So their task is just to automate something or to make sure things are getting done using their understanding and their knowledge. Now we cannot ask someone to go ahead and learn the tool for 1 year to 2 years, then go ahead and automate your process. That will not bring any sense. All they need is quick wins, just like that. And they need to be reliant on or they need to be reliable. Now, simple again. I'm going to give my example of WhatsApp. Now, if I need to implement anything on WhatsApp, what I need to know? I need to have WhatsApp API host. I need to know the schema of the response. I need to know what are the post requests, what are the get requests, what is the authentication method that they're using, who is providing the service. Now, I need to purchase some licenses to work with WhatsApp. Now, with UiPath, what should I buy? You're a small organization. With UiPath, what should you buy? You have a free email ID. Go ahead and register for free. You will get a robot that you can install for free. Go ahead and record the activities. That's for free. Requiring like UiPath itself has lot tons of learning resources.
Mm. Hmm. Hmm.
If you are not able to build something on your own, if you want someone else to do it, just go ahead and check with Google Trends and search for UiPath Automation Anywhere Blue Prism. UiPath will have the highest number of searches, so as the developers. So it will be easy to find a UiPath developer. You can get the job done easier.
Right.
Absolutely. So, like from somebody who has like no coding experience, or even if they're a coder, how do they get started with UiPath, and how long will it take for them to be job ready?
Okay. This completely depends upon someone who is spending their time on learning the tool itself.
Hmm.
Someone who is having a focused learning, like around every day 1 hour at least, will be able to work with UiPath tool within 60 days. But someone who is just trying to make some small activity, try to get it worked, and after 1 month he's checking back again, we cannot expect him to be job ready within 60 days or 1 month or at least 90 days. So it completely depends upon one's ability to focus on one tool and learn on that. But to my understanding, 60 days is what someone can spend to know about the tool and to build some decent projects. It doesn't require more than that. Well, obviously, there should be continuous learning. Like, okay, you if you know how to write database or how to connect with database, you will you will land up in a position that you need to write some query to extract some information from the database. Now obviously you need to learn how to query the data. Without that you cannot automate. But if you are able to already connect things in the background, if you are already able to connect applications in the background, things will become easier.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead, Kev.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say. So yeah. So you offer a training course. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and how do people sign up?
It's easy. Go to Vajrang.org. Every month we connect. We do developer connect or a monthly connect. What I would say. It is free for everyone to go ahead, register, and join. Once they go to Vajrang.org, they will find a banner on the top. I have enabled it, and I will have a limited number of seats for every program. Around 20 members is the max that I normally take. If even if there is one person, we'll go ahead and start with the training. The major goal is to make someone aware of what is the current tool and make them a clear learning, give them a clear learning plan. Now, obviously there are a lot of scenarios that I have seen where people will say that okay, I will go into YouTube where I will learn for free. Even I have my YouTube channel. Okay, now when a UiPath video plays on the right side, there is also a Shakira or someone a pop singer video popping up on the right. What is the chance that you don't click on that video and you don't go and watch that video?
It's
It's
low.
Very
very high.
less.
It's
Very
very high.
less. Now,
Shakira, it's very high.
not only Shakira, like YouTube is completely dependent on showing you results where you stick onto the platform.
Hmm.
Now, when you are going with a learning platform or learning videos, you will not stay on the videos for a longer period of time. But if you are watching something, maybe shorts, 15-second shorts, now you're thinking that only I'm watching 15 seconds, but you're watching it for 2 hours
Hmm.
continuously. You cannot watch a movie continuously sit you cannot sit and watch a movie continuously for 2 hours, but you can watch shorts for 2 hours continuously without moving from your place.
Yeah, that's crazy. Interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what the pain point is. People want to learn, they're having resources to learn for free, but they are not having a clear plan, as well as they are not having guidance on what to learn, where to learn, and how much to learn. Now tell me something. You started learning something. you are able to focus and learn for around 30 days. Now, how will you know you are job ready or not if there is no one to validate you,
You
no
would.
one to correct you, or no one to guide you? So that's kind of guidance or support is what we are giving out in our program. Since it is only 1 hour per day, if you are done with that 1 hour, you can continue with rest of the activities that you're doing. That 1 hour is something like it's like an adrenaline rush for you, where I have done something like 1 hour. Like there is one more saying that I would like to quote. You can eat every like 30 kgs of food which spread around 30 days, having 1 kg or 1 pound per day, but you cannot have all the 30 pounds on one single day. So this is like a medicine, or this is like a small activity that you need to inject every day with small dose. Okay, I learned something this new. Okay, I will add on top of it. I will add on top of it. I will add on top of it. Like that. That's how we need to learn, and that's how we can learn. There's no other alternative. There's no chip in our brain. Like okay, add a pen drive and add this in your chip, and that stores in our brain. That's not available. We are humans. We need to learn slow, and we need to learn constantly. So our program will help them to make this continuous effort for 60 days. That's the promise that we are making.
Absolutely. You also have a YouTube channel, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. Where can people go to reach your YouTube?
Again, I'm saying like most of the people, YouTube is like an advertisement platform, accept
Mm,
it or not. Now, my services are majorly focused on development as well as with the training. But how will people know if I'm not available on where the people go and watch more?
mm,
Again, people will not watch all the available content. They need to have specific interesting content, as well as I need to keep something that gives benefit to them. If they are not finding any benefit out of the videos, they will not watch. Simple. So again, if again I started YouTube on one reason. I started applying for interviews, and I'm not able to reiterate myself on what I have learned. So I started recording my own videos, and I posted them. Whenever I go for an interview, I used to watch my own videos.
mm.
That's nice. I haven't heard that one. That's
Okay,
new.
because I cannot read a 100 pages document, but I can watch during the transit. I can hear, I can listen, or I can just have my headphones on. I can listen to it, and I can go for interview. And trust me, I have cracked some around 7 to 8 jobs by doing just that.
So it's almost like listening to an ebook almost, except it's just you
Exactly.
reiterating the stuff you learned.
Yeah,
Something that's more interesting that I found out is you will be able to understand more of what you say than what others will say to you.
Mm,
interesting. That's impressive.
Now, if you now the same recording, if we three hear it continuously for around 10 to 15 times, you will be able to easily understand what you speak and what you spoke already, and you will be able to get more information of what you spoke, and you will also be able to correct yourself and think that okay, I have said something wrong in this, I need to correct this. So it's a documented proof on what you have discussed.
mm.
Yeah, I got
that's
into that
that's
process.
the major that's when I started recording on YouTube. If you see, my initial videos are all on just recording. I have turned on my laptop. I just speak to myself. I'm not talking to anyone, nothing. I just turned on my laptop. I just posted it. And there are a lot of negative comments on it.
Mm.
What's one? What's one of those negative comments?
If I'm very positive person. I am I completely don't remember it.
Mm.
at this point of time. Because after a year or two, I understood that okay, this is kind of a practice that I can do. I can do it better. Then I started improving the course content as well as the production values also. So no, I think most of my videos, even I just a few minutes back before we start our program, I released around 15 videos of playlist where people can learn UiPath Studio Web for free. Till now, there is no video or no series on it.
Yeah, there's actually not a lot of. I mean, for something this, I guess, the, disruptive with this level of adoption, there are a lot. There's a lot of UiPath stuff on YouTube, but not as much as I thought there would be. Right there's still so much more to grow when
That's
it
right.
comes to yeah.
Now, here is the catch. Now, everyone, I, as a developer who is a senior experienced developer, I will not go and watch a video. I'll go with my docs, UiPath docs or documentation platform. So, members who are very new to UiPath, or members who don't know how to read the docs, or members who don't know how to, or who wants to mimic something that's already there, those are the viewers that I get normally, and those are the viewers that normally every technical channel will get.
Mm.
If I really know how to automate and if I really know how to read the docs, I will not spend 5 minutes to 10 minutes watching a video. I'll just open a doc and I will quickly search for it and I will get the copy paste the content that I need. So it will be 1 minute task for me. Depends upon the experience as well.
Yeah, they just recently had an event that
Our sense.
yeah, that you attended. Can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that before we uh, land this plane?
Okay. So UiPath Forward event yeah, is like iPhone making like Apple making its releases, public releases, where they are going to showcase lots of new enhancements that they are bringing up, a lot of new products that they are launching. So they need to have some platform where people will come gather and try to understand and check it. So UiPath Forward event is one such event where everyone can go and watch what is the latest enhancements of UiPath.
Mm,
As well, there is a lot of peer connection that can happen.
mm,
Simple example: I am in search for some partner who is very good with UiPath. Instead of me going and searching on all the platforms, we have stalls available specifically with all the sponsored partnership members. So you can directly go and say your problem, and if they have a solution, you can be a partner with them. You can directly join and be a partner with them. So again, the major focus of forward event is to give out what enhancements will be released in the next release or for the next 1 year, what UiPath roadmap is for the next 1 year, and who are benefited. There will be a lot of success stories, and you will be able to meet the CEOs and the COOs and CFOs, all the business suit people. You will be able to meet with them.
what's one of the coolest? What's one thing that stood out to you as far as what's coming up with next release for UiPath features?
Wingman generative AI, it's coming up for you.
Okay, so my
So
bots will be able to think pretty soon. I'm just playing. And,
you're true.
right.
You're
Well,
true.
not in the truest sense, but yes.
So now you need to write some code,
Hmm.
at least some part of a code,
Hmm.
at least some logic, right?
Yeah, right.
When you're working with UiPath. Now even that will be generated automatically with generative AI.
Hmm. Interesting.
Okay. So the code is getting automatically generated and the expressions are getting automatically generated. And in this like in the Saturday, the session that we are going to have, I'm going to clearly tell everyone how to use generative AI and prepare yourself for interviews, and also how to use generative AI within UiPath tool. And I'm going to give them like around 100 prompts and what is their responses. We are currently, our team is working on that right now. So that's being sent now. something that we are also focusing on is it's not free session, or it's not free giveaway. So there is a payment module that someone need to make, and it's currently semi automated. We are trying to give it complete we are trying to make it completely automated with this event, and it will be only 1 rupee that they need to make a UPI payment. And once they make the payment, they will be able to get all the information. um, if it is 1 rupee, it's one by 80th of a dollar. It's 80th percentage of a dollar. So it's we are just trying to make sure that the integrations are working, not focused on the money at this point of time. But yeah, so I think we missed the part of forward event. Forward event is something where you will be able to learn a lot of information about UiPath itself. Document understanding is one major tool where UiPath is building, and the training of document understanding will be reduced by 80% if you are spending some 8 hours to work on with a document, or to train a document, or to make sure the invoice the particular template is available for
Mm.
multiple automations. Now the training time will be reduced to 1 hour.
Really?
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
haven't
try it
delved
out.
into document understanding yet, but I had a session with someone where we talked a little bit about it, and it seemed like I may need to spend some time on that. 1 hour. Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
Sure, we'll go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. So we're at the top of the hour. We appreciate you for stopping by. There was a lot of great information. Did you have any closing thoughts for the audience?
Don't stop learning, as well as don't learn something that's easy, because everything is becoming easier. Try to identify some way where people will try to pay you.
Right.
If you are able to get at least one source, maybe so all the success gurus or financial gurus will say there should be 5 streams of income. Find a source of income using the latest generative AI tools that will last forever for you.
And Yanni, did you have any closing thoughts?
No, no closing thoughts. Just thank you for coming on, Vajrang. We'll be in contact. But this was good. Hope you can come on again. We can dive even deeper into the technology. Um,
Sure.
yeah.
Anytime
Thank you.
available. Thank you so much for having me,
Thank you for
and pleasure
coming.
to have you both guys as hosts. And well, this is one of the interview where I'm not hosting. I'm giving the actual interview.
Right.
Obviously, I'll host most of the programs, but thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely we'll come on your show anytime.
Sure, I'll call you.
All right. And thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll catch y'all